Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my MotoGP 18 career mode. And today we are here for another two races for the German Grand Prix and the Czech Republic Grand Prix at the Sachsenring and Brno respectively. But if you guys did miss the last episode at Catalonia and Assen, then do check that episode out by clicking on the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screen, because it was a bit of a mixed episode and also a near miss. So do check that one out before you get up to speed, and that way you know exactly what's happening going into this episode. But for this one, we've got two more races on the cards, and we have a couple of upgrades. I believe just the one for this episode, because we were sort of trying to get some points away, and we didn't really have a great couple of races. So we can only afford one for this weekend, and we're going around the Sachsenring this time. So that's going to be quite an interesting one. I do enjoy the Sachsenring. It's quite a unique track with a very, very incredible elevation change. And then we go to Brno, which is a very long lap with a lot of corners where you can make a lot of mistakes and also lose or gain a lot of time. But anyway, we're going to jump into qualifying now for the first race here at the Sachsenring for the German Grand Prix. Right, qualifying time for the German Grand Prix here at the Sachsenring. Interesting track on the Moto2 bike, I've got to say. It feels quite a bit different to the Moto3 machine. It's a lot more lifting and coasting and really trying to get the nose in there, but it's going to make for an interesting session. Let's get into it. Okay, end of our first attempt. I'm slower than Joe Roberts, so that's not a good sign. We go P4, half a second off the pace, but I feel like the overall coil lap time is going to drop quite a bit here as we try to get on the inside of Joe Roberts here at the minute. Again, that's going to be my lap. A little bit compromised, but we'll try and find some lap time. Right, Baldassarri just popped in a 24.5. That's the fastest lap of the weekend. So lap times are dropping, but we are going to improve to 24.6. So that is very good pace from us. I wonder if we can go one step further. Oh, not ideal. I was on for a pretty decent lap there, but just messed it up on the exit at the final corner, up to the line, and we do not improve. Up the line, do we improve? Oh, yes we do. Massive final sector. I went quiet during that lap. I was concentrating so hard. I've fallen off so many times trying to get the perfect lap, but we've got it there by a 10,000th of a second. And I think that's going to be the best lap I can do. That was a really, really nice lap. I'm really happy with that. So I think I'm just going to call it there for qualifying. I think that's the best I can do.
Brings an end to this qualifying session. And after a thrilling contest where the riders gave their all right up until the end, we can finally find out the name of the rider who will start from pole position tomorrow. We are now coming from the starting grid, where everything seems ready. It's always difficult to predict the results of a Moto2 race, but the riders we're seeing right now definitely seem to be the favourites.
It's race time for the German Grand Prix, and straight away I can tell there has been two patches, mini patches, since I've last played this game. I do wonder if the bike performances have been patched, because there's a lot more KTMs higher up. You know, with Oliveira and Brad Binder really up there. Baldassarri only in P6. So if that is the case, we're looking a lot better to get some points back, because we are 45 points behind the championship lead in third place. So we need to get some points back on Baldassarri this race, and the win is all I can accept, really. Anything else other than that, and I won't be too happy. So we have to win this race, and the pressure is on. The margins are fine. The pace between everybody is really, really close. So we have to make sure we do it right now. In terms of the bike, I'm just going to run the hard front. I'm going to risk the soft rear and hope for the best. I'm going to be leaning on that rear tyre a lot, but I want to try and push hard early on here, and hopefully we can have a good race. But that being said, let's get to the race for the German Grand Prix. Right, I've not played in a few days, so I want to see if I can still remember how to do a decent start. And it's lights out and away we go at the Sachsenring. And it's a pretty decent start from us. And I think we've held on to first place. No, not quite. Baldassarri's got an incredible start. Getting into P1 there momentarily. I'm going to get a better exit and get the power and completely shut him off and hold on to my first place. But Baldassarri from P6, I believe, getting a fantastic start. So already making up for the deficit in qualifying. And he's got himself right up there in the danger zone. So now we've got to try and keep him behind us. This is my weakest sector on the circuit, sector 2. There's just so many different lines and the AI just is so quick through here. I have to be very careful with what I do and not invite the pressure or leave any gaps open. So down the hill for the first time. It looks like we've managed to come away unscathed. So now we can sort of get the power on and try and set the pace out front here. Because starting from now for the rest of the lap and the start of the next one, I do have the pace. So Baldassarri up my inside. We're going to go straight back underneath and respond and not let him get a rhythm and get into first place. Down to the waterfall for the first time. Flat out now through the corner. And there we go. Open up a little bit of a gap now. We need to try and push hard and break away. A little bit wide through there. I've just allowed Baldassarri through. He's really putting the pressure on me at the minute and he's got some good pace. As I get up the inside of the final corner, I cut the corner a little bit. Fastest up of the Grand Prix from us last time round. I'm trying to stretch the gap here, but Baldassarri is keeping me honest. And to be fair, everyone else is following quite closely. It's a very closely matched track, this one. Everyone is really close for pace. So one mistake and we're going to be in big trouble. Another fastest lap from us there into the 24s. Holding good pace and stretching the pack a little bit more here. Everyone's starting to break up a little bit, but right now we're keeping Baldassarri at bay. And we're starting to just sort of break away a little bit. Gap pushing up to a second now. Okay, good news is we're half race distance and Baldassarri, I believe, is no longer in P2. I think it's Alex Marquez now who's behind us. I want to glance behind my shoulder, but it's very risky. Also, tyre wear, we're looking bang on target to pretty much run out of tyres by the last lap of the Grand Prix. So we're looking okay in that department. So far, so good. We've got some good race pace. We're keeping everyone sort of stretched out. And no one can really go for the move on me as I've got a little bit too much pace. So right now we're looking very nice and tidy so far. Right, tyres are just about to go off, especially the front ones. 2 laps to go. We're looking good though. Every lap's been the 1 minute 24s and the AI can't really match that sort of pace. That one though down to the 125, so we slowed down a little bit. But the AI I think also may be running out of tyres a bit. Marcus I believe is still in second place, which is good news. Right, on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. We're still stretching out this gap. We've got just about enough tyres left for one more lap. And we are over a second clear of Alex Marquez. Let's bring this one home and pick up a rare actual W here as Baldassarri's in P4 on the top left as you can see there, so this is good news. Rear tyres really starting to let go of me now. Gotta be careful, I'm really burning these up. Right then, the final couple of corners. Even my rear tyre is starting to let go and my front is now officially gone. But it's all under control, nursing the final corner, letting the bike sort of roll through on the power nice and early. And there we go, over the crest, and we're going to come through to win, I believe, only our second race of the season after Le Mans. And we win the German Grand Prix at the Sachsenring. A big 25 points for us and a well-deserved race win. But we're now going to move into the final race results before we then move into the next race at Brno.
While we wait for the cameras to take us to the Parc Fermé to meet the stars of the race, let's take a quick look at the Moto2 class final ranking.
And there we have it. We pick up the W at Sachsenring. Marquez and Bagnaia ran at the podium and Baldassarri only manages P4 in the end, so that is good news for us. And Oliveira then a very good P5 for him in the KTM. Also Sam Lowes as well, really impressive up there in P6. And Passini, my teammate, in P8 there, so not too shabby. And all in all, a good race. But now let's move into the next one for the Czech Republic Grand Prix. Right then, qualifying time at a very damp Brno circuit, full wet conditions, and in practice it was also in the wet and we got 3rd place. Baldassarri looks really quick around here alongside Bagnaia, so it's going to be an interesting one, but let's see how qualifying gets on for the Czech Republic Grand Prix. Visibility is so poor at the minute. This has been a decent lap, with the exception of turn 1 where I had a little bit of contact with Passini as they were exiting the pit lane, and also another bike as well, which you would have seen. Let's see what this opener is like though. It's a good banker lap, so hopefully we get a nice reference point. We're going to go 208.5, so that's not too shabby. P5 for now, we've got a reference point, now we can try and improve. Well, Baldassarri has just dropped the bomb with a 207.3. That is going to be pretty much pole time, I'm going to say. And then no, Marquez improves it as I say that. Those lap times are pretty damn quick. I don't know if I'm going to touch that or not. Out of the final corner, let's see what this lap's like. A much better lap. And it's a 207, no 208 dead. So we sort of lose a little bit of time everywhere over the lap. A little bit high into that left-hander there, but let's see what we're like through the final corner, if we can pull it back or not. On the power, a bit of a wide line this time, using the third gear short shift up to the line. Do we improve? And yes, we do, 207.8. Still P10 though. Oh no! Oh, pushing too much. I was on for a good lap there. That was definitely going to be at least a purple, or sorry, a red sector 3, if not equal. It was so close. That was such a good lap. Damn it. Right, I think that's been the perfect lap. It's been a really good lap. Do we get it? Yes, we do. A 207 dead. That should be pole position. What a lap that was. Absolutely perfect. Literally, I'm not going to do a better lap than that. That was absolutely phenomenal. I came in after I just fell off when I was on that attempt to actually go fastest before, because I realised my front tyre was going a little bit. So I came in, got some fresh tyres on, and ultimately it's paid off. And I think that's going to be pole for the Czech Republic Grand Prix.
That brings an end to this qualifying session. And after a thrilling contest where the riders gave their all right up until the end, we can finally find out the name of the rider who will start from pole position tomorrow. We are now coming from the starting grid, where everything seems ready. It's always difficult to predict the results of a Moto2 race, but the riders we're seeing right now definitely seem to be the favourites.
It's race time here at Brno. Good news is the track is wet. It's not actually raining, but the track is still wet, so that's good news. That's what I've been riding with since practice, so that's what I know, and that's what I seem to be quickest with. You never know, I could be even faster than the dry, but that's not the sort of thing I want to. It's not a sort of risk or the unknown that I want to have going into the race. At least I know I can get the job done in these conditions, and this could be a first. For the first time, I want to say in this entire career mode. I mean, I might have done it in Moto3, but I can't remember off the top of my head. If we could get back-to-back wins, I'm 90% sure if we get back-to-back wins, that'll be a first. So we're going to have to work hard for it. It's a very long lap, like I mentioned. There's a lot of possibilities for mistakes. We have to be careful, and I have to be really focused to get the lines right and make no mistakes. So let's get into it. First of all, though, got to make sure, actually, no, I don't need to do tyres because it's a wet race, so I don't need to worry about that. So let's just jump into it, and it is time for the Czech Republic Grand Prix. First of all, though, let's have a good start. Let's get it. Right, let's get the assists turned off. Get ready. First gear. And pull away off the line, and it's a pretty decent start, I want to say. A little bit of wheel spin, the front end coming up a little bit back. Nice, had a brilliant start in the Sky VR46. We've got Baldassarri here on the inside. The turn one, I'm going to block him off. He's the main target. We can't have Baldassarri getting past me. He has to be behind me this way. So if he finishes behind me, we're back in the championship hunt. Bagnaia, though, with a brilliant start on the VR46, and he is on his way. We can try and chase him down now. But P2, that's not a disaster by any means. I can work with that. It would have been worse if we had a shocking start, but we've not. We've only dropped down to P2, so I can definitely work from here and make my way through the field. But so far, it's looking a little bit quicker, the track, in terms of qualifying compared to that session, because obviously it's not actually raining, the track is just damp, so a little bit more race pace to be found, I reckon. Right, time to re-overtake Alex Marquez here. So far, race pace is not great. I am struggling, and I've gone very deep into there. I've got to be careful to not fall off the bike. Pull it back up into the last corner, though. We've lost a little bit of time to Marquez, and almost high-sided there, but we are struggling big time here. Really just not got the pace at the moment. I don't know what's happening compared to qualifying, but we are in no man's land. Baldassarri now behind me. I can't let him pass me. Bagnaia's pace is incredible. I mean, we've actually managed to pick up the pace a bit this lap, and we're only 2 tenths adrift, but he is just flying around the circuit at the minute. This sort of dry pace definitely doesn't suit me. Maybe a sign that if this race was dry, we would maybe be struggling. But even still, the main thing is I'm still ahead of Baldassarri, and I seem to have settled into this race a little bit now, which is the main thing. So I reckon there's still a chance I can maybe get back past Marquez. Oh my god, a 205.7. Bagnaia is just flying around the circuit at the minute. Really good pace. I can't match that. But so far, though, we are holding P3. So right now we're good. Baldassarri hasn't really gone for an attack yet, so this is good. 2 laps to go. Every single lap, Bagnaia is going faster and faster. We actually do a 205.7, which isn't too bad as we go into the last lap of the race now. Tyre wear, we're sort of hanging on the front, is just about hanging on by a thread. It's a long lap, so by the end of the lap we are going to be struggling on that front tyre, but other than that, we're looking okay, and I think we can keep Baldassarri behind us if we don't make any mistakes. Baldassarri tried to stick his nose in there. Luckily, though, not enough room, and we managed to keep it nice and tight on the apex. We just can't leave any gaps open now, because Baldassarri will go for it if he has to. These are valuable points that we gain, and we make up for our fall at Catalonia and also our poor result at Assen. So we'll need to hold it. 2 more corners to go here. My front tyre is now gone. Penultimate corner, very hot in the brakes. I can feel the front slipping, but I've got to try and hold on to it. Little dabs of the brake through the final corner, keep it nice and tight, nice and tidy on the power. A little bit of wheel spin, but Bagnaia dominates here at Czech Republic. We come home for 3rd place and a podium. So overall, I'm not going to complain. I'll take that because we beat Baldassarri, and also I never had the pace to even touch the top 2. So yeah, I'm not going to complain. Overall, a good race. But we're now going to move into the final race results.
While the Parc Fermé starts to fill up with the stars of the race, we're going to take a look at the Moto2 race final ranking.
And there you have it. I think that says a lot. The lap timers from the top 2 there. Marquez with a 205 dead. Incredible lap across the line on the last lap of the Grand Prix, and nobody else came close. And crucially, we beat Baldassarri. That's the main one. But then in terms of the Riders' Championship, you can see we are now 30 points behind and 5 behind Marquez. But the good thing about that episode was, at the start of the episode, we was 45 points behind Baldassarri, and then we're now 30. So we've done a very good job of cutting down the deficit, and we're much closer now. We're going into a couple of tracks now, which I'm actually quite good at. Silverstone and Thailand especially. I was very quick at Moto3, so those 2 are coming up very soon. So there's a good opportunity there to gain some big points and also maybe a couple of wins. But overall, that is going to be it for this episode, guys, of the MotoGP 18 Rider Career Mode. But we're now going to move into the bike development and see what upgrades we can put on for the next episode. Right, we have 23,000 points to burn, so straight away we're going to get the frame sorted out, because this is the most crucial part of the bike, in my opinion. This is where we gain the most of our performance, so we're going to make sure we've got it nicely balanced up, both for quick handling and also getting the bike down nice and low and keeping it all under control. Now with the other 14,000 points, I'm going to probably dabble with the suspension here, and I can only buy one of these, whether hydraulics or elasticity, and realistically I'm probably going to say elasticity is going to be the one that I want, because I just want to have a bit more stability in the bike when I push harder. So we're going to go for that one, and that way we can sort of lead in the bike a bit more when we go for the fast corners. And we have 4,800 points to spend, plus whatever we earn in the next episode. But in the next episode, I'm actually curious to see what tracks we're going around, and we're going around Austria and Silverstone. So exactly as I predicted, 2 very good tracks for me. Austria was good for me last year, Silverstone was really good for me last year, and then we go to Misano, which is also a good track, Aragon hit and miss, and Thailand. So we're sort of going to a bit of a period now where we've got some good tracks coming up, and I've got a really good chance of closing up that 30-point gap at the top of the table. But anyway, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this episode of the MotoGP career mode. If you have, then please do drop a like on the video. Let's try and smash 150 likes for this episode, guys. Also, if you're new around here, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content, and turn notifications to not miss any uploads from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them by chance. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.